Nice. We are here, Jet. I apologize for how bad my internet is, but hopefully my voice is still coming through.
Yeah, you're still crystal, Pat.
Crystal voice or crystal vision?
Crystal clear. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I hear you. That's the
You
main
hear
thing.
me?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
That's
you're good.
that's that's the main thing that I was hoping
Yep.
for. So, Jet, where are you coming to us from?
So, Pat, I'm over in Sacramento.
Oh, you're not far away,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, not too far away from you. So I'm at a small little pocket of Sacramento, actually next to the airport called Natomas.
Cool. What's the name of the gym that you're at?
It's CrossFit Natomas.
CrossFit Natomas, rad.
Yep.
And is there anything special I need to know about you or this class before we jump in?
I would say that I just started coaching there. That was probably like my maybe eighth class that I've coached at this location of this gym. So everyone's still fairly brand new. And then just getting used to the mayhem programming that's being delivered, in
Okay.
that gym.
Okay. So this is your eighth total class at this new facility or this
Yeah, at
new
this new
gym that you're
facility.
at?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Before we jump fully into the actual class, I can't forget to mention that we've got a bunch of really cool new stuff at Best Hour coming down the pipe. And if you want to know about it, besthouroftheday.com/newsletter. There's some really cool stuff we're doing at the games. There's also a super secret filming project. Oh yeah, down below that we're doing right now. That's why I'm in this gym that's really loud because I'm at a gym and we're filming some AC stuff. And believe it or not, Jason Fernandez is right over there. I
Oh,
dropped him in his
Fern.
call.
Okay,
So Fern's
awesome.
in town. We got
Yeah,
Nathan in town. It's a bit of a wild ride, but
the
yeah,
crew.
we're doing some stuff. So sub to the newsletter if you want to be in the know for what's coming down the pipeline. Anyway, so you're at this new gym. You've got let's see what we got. We got Mayhem program. So what is Mayhem's whole patterning there? Because I've looked at it off and on.
Oof.
I've known Rich for years. So to me,
Yeah,
I know their competitive stuff is pretty freaking high volume. Is their gym stuff different?
I feel like the gym stuff's different. Typical warm up, strength skill progressions, and then your WOD. Some days I've coached where they've had the skill of progression after the actual workout. So I haven't found much a rhythm yet into the programming besides the cycle that we're on right now, and I believe this cycle that we're looking at is a bench press off percentages, and then high box jumps off of like max height.
Oh, interesting. So it's a cycle
Yeah,
on bench and box jump. And
yeah,
you're saying
yeah.
they factor that in either just before workouts or just after?
Yep. So it looks like uh, the main skill has been revolved around pistols, and then the strength portion, a combination of front squats and then bench and then box jumps, which you're about to see here.
You got that every day?
No, I would say like out of the 5 days that we use Mayhem, 3 of those are weekly of bench press, box jumps, weekly front squats, and then weekly pistols.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I believe
Interesting to
like
look at.
yeah. So with this being my 8th class, I want to say we're probably coming up on the final weeks of this cycle before testing.
Okay. Matt saying his affiliate flows Mayhem as well, and I don't know why you
How do
guys
you like it,
follow a
Matt?
competitors program for a gym, but that's fine. Whatever, it's okay.
Yeah,
No,
Pat,
I'm
they
just
don't.
peppering.
I don't know if you're familiar with the affiliate programming, but they break it down by the prescribed is freedom, and then below that is independence, and then their like entry scaling option is on liberty. So they break it down to like 3 different tracks.
3 very American tracks.
Yeah, 3 very American tracks. Yep.
Fantastic. Okay,
Similar
well,
to their
I
different
will.
teams, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I love how he's kind of bought in on the all America
Yeah.
all day. Now, don't get me
America.
wrong, I'm a fan of America, but He's a lovely guy. Have you ever been to Tennessee? You've been out to Mayhem?
No, that's been a goal of mine. That and the games. Those are like two places I haven't got a
There,
chance to check out.
you have to do both. Mayhem's
Okay.
an experience in and of itself. Such a cool facility. Rich is a really good dude. Like, he was a great ambassador for everything that we've ever done. So I'm so stoked that he is who he is. But wonderful space, and Tennessee is gorgeous. Like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
green and lush and like beautiful. I was blown away. People were super nice. So I definitely worth the trip to go out sometime.
For sure.
Let's jump into it. Cody's going to be in charge of the start and stop because I'm on an iPad, and so I'll just say Cody's here, by the way, in case anyone watching knows. Cody's behind the scenes. By the way, Jet, if you have any questions that ruminate, like that you can think of that are not even in this class, we would love at the very end just like ask a couple nuanced coaching questions. We'd love to do a little Q&A. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, I already have some warm-up workout questions for you.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm totally in for that. All right, so let's jump on in. Start it off, see what we got going on here.
Cool, Jim. One for that one, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It reminds me of
Stephanie. Are you guys coming? Yeah.
Of a CrossFit Brisbane in Brisbane. The original Brisbane location looked a lot like this.
If you grab one of these,
like a long rectangle.
Yeah. Long high rectangle. Same with in North Carolina. Andy Hendel.
What is your name?
To be like this too.
I actually use punch card, so you probably need to punch my card.
Okay. How do you pronounce it?
YC, like
YZ?
YC.
YC? Okay, YC. Okay.
Good connect with the athletes. Way to do it.
It's got YC.
Thank you.
What is your name? What's your name?
Kirti.
Kirti? Okay, I'm Jet. Nice to meet you. Okay. Oh, YC.
So
my name is Jet.
because you're new, you're just getting
I got your name. I forgot to introduce mine.
It's I try to make it an intent to get everyone's name on, and especially brand new. Like I'll keep on asking until like I can just remember the names.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's hard to step into a new location and just coach. I think that says a lot about. It tests your abilities in ways that you don't necessarily even think beforehand, because like you assume that you're good at certain things, and you realize when you're coaching at someone else's facility that you're like, oh, I was good at those things with those people, but with new people, they don't know me or trust me. It makes you develop very different things. So cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Just I know it makes it refreshing because it allows you to kind of like go back to certain things too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Go back to the basics and revisit what you're trying to do. All right, let's see where we're at.
The roasting begins.
We, by the way, if you guys listening, we were trying to find new names for this actual the progression, because the progression needs to change its name. But we were thinking like the roast, and it's a coach's roast. Coaching show. Roasted. That's what it was. Roasted is what you thought, Jet.
Yep.
I like that. Roasted. A coaching show. Even though my goal is not to roast you. So let's keep going. Hit play, Cody. Magical Cody play. Cody died.
Uh-oh.
And Cody's gone. Let's see what it says when we're back at. See if Cody's in here. Pat's roast show. I like it, Matt. I'm in there with you.
Yep.
I don't know where Cody is right now. Hopefully he's coming back.
Hip circle.
Okay.
There he is. All right.
Hold on. Do a quarter squat position. All right, so feet nice and wide. We're gonna slightly bend the knees, and then from here, let's go ahead and take 10 steps forward. Nice little shuffle, and then 10 steps back. Okay.
Are these programmed into the warm up for Mayhem?
Yeah.
Or is this cool.
No, it seems like the
And
consistent.
then after that, you guys will do
It's like
10
the pre-warm up
to
is
one
like
side,
hip halos, and then
10
they call it banded
to the
sevens
other.
with the shoulders.
Yeah, those are. I
You got
mean,
everything?
there's a gym here in Santa Cruz called CrossFit Up that
You
does the
got
same
everything?
thing. Because it's run by a
Okay.
PT, so they do the hip stuff with the band, and then shoulder stuff with the band, and that's how they
Yeah.
start every single class. Which I don't think is terrible.
Oh, you guys did manual
West
push-ups?
Hyatt does a similar thing. It
Oh,
drives
wow.
drives me
That's-
a little crazy because I don't like
crazy.
teaching
It
something
does
I
for
like
me
haven't
that
seen
every
it since
time.
2015. All right, so
But I understand its value and
Keep
importance.
that
I have to put my
on.
own
Yeah,
head in my
yeah,
ass.
Do some hip
exactly.
bridges. So you lay on your backs, heel to the ground, elevate those hips, squeeze the butt, and then back down. We'll do that for 10 repetitions, and then you guys can take off those hip circles.
What are the bros in the back doing?
So we have one of our coaches and another member that is on their own programming. I think one of them is like a competitive masters athlete.
Thank you.
Okay.
And then I'm not too familiar with
Thanks,
the other gentleman.
Okay. And they
But
just like
you'll
do that.
that yeah. So
Where are you
being in
new?
a new gym, you
How long have you been coming here?
are getting used
How long have
to
you been coming
like your
here?
environment and your surroundings, and you'll actually see I do interrupt them, right? And
Good.
like I know I'm always kind of self-aware where like all right, if I'm dropping a barbell and someone's coaching in class, like that's probably not the coolest thing to do,
Yeah.
or a stone. I think that's in the corner there too.
Yeah.
It's
Or like
fun,
jumping
man.
on a
Yeah.
skier
Or vegetable.
or an air.
Yep.
You're jumping on an
You
air
can't
assault
live
bike and
without.
they're trying to brief and.
Yep.
One
Yeah.
other vegetable that you can't live without. So again, your name.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of
and then answer the
stuff going on at
question.
the same time,
We'll
and
start
that's
with
super
this
respectful.
gentleman right here.
Yep.
And oftentimes that culture's not
Oh,
built, so
okay,
it's just
all right,
it's
all right.
kind of touchy at
Kid's
times. But
like,
I understand you're just stepping in a new space, so that's hard.
Yeah.
So you're doing like a little intro stuff after the hip stuff.
Oh,
Is that what you're
interesting.
doing? Rather
Wow.
than
Yeah.
Okay, baby carrots. Okay. Yeah. All right.
so you did a little cute like
If you're great.
what was your
So I
question?
did like
Very
a
specific
quick
grape. Okay, anyone.
the question of the day
Okay.
was what fruit or vegetable could you like not live without?
There we go. I like it. I got like baby carrots the most. There's a lot of jokes to be made there. That was a good one. One thing you
Wait,
can
the
do,
red-
like
rectangle.
this is, I
Like
especially
bunny
appreciate
type
how you're
carrots
doing this
or-
with the new gym because you're new to this space, so it's really good for you to get to know these people, and you can kind of build that rapport as you go, just like you're doing here. One thing you can do too, though, especially if you know that they do the same hip hinge thing and the blah blah blah, and they've done it a bunch of times, you can say, "Hey, everybody, get your bands," and then you can kind of work through that at the same time. So you could couple the two together. So it's like,
Yeah.
hey, everybody get your bands and your knee sleeves and stuff like that. Start doing
Yep.
the steps forward and steps back. And then, hey, you say your name and your favorite fruit
Yeah.
and vegetable to eat all the time. And then you go around like that. So that way it doesn't compound on the like start stop as well as it
Yep.
doesn't suck quite as much time. But it's not wrong to do it how you're doing it. But one way is to just couple those two things together.
Yeah, no, I like that because normally after that banded halo stuff is 3 sets of a warm up, and normally I'll condense it to like 2 sets because of a situation like this.
Totally. And then you could do it during the initial band stuff because they know how to do it. Hey, everybody get your bands, do your everyday thing. So here's an interesting thing. Like you just demoed a few things. Looks like you're looking. This girl in the front
Cool. Once you guys do 10, let's
Right,
go ahead and
is-
stand up.
not doing it. She was like 2 feet away
And
from
then
her
we're
foot
going to go
as she
to
was
your
reaching
bench.
for it.
Let's go ahead and set these up. So again, we're just going to pull out
Is
the
it the
bench,
one in the green?
place it underneath the bar.
No, the other one, the
Set
one
up
in
the
black,
barbell
Okay.
to where
closest to the
you
black,
can
okay.
unrack it with a
Okay.
slight bend in the elbow. Okay.
So all
Yeah,
I was thinking is,
you're gonna roast me about that.
Probably-
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, roasted.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, do
no.
it. Do it.
Go ahead and pause for a second there, Cody. The only thing I'm thinking is like, and I've said this to other people, but it's just like every opportunity to correct range of motion standards is to another opportunity to set into place like this relationship between range of motion and what you want in that gym, right? So like anytime you say, hey, this is what I need from you, and they do half of it, If it's too difficult, that's one thing. But if it's like,
Yep.
oh, I'm just not quite doing it because this is easier for me, that's another.
Yeah.
So if you really don't care, then that's fine. But when she was like not touching her toe, it's like, that's what I just showed you. And now you're doing part of it. Or so either set up an easier version of it so they can be like, okay, bend your knee if you can't do that, or just hold them accountable to each one of those range of motion pieces. And I'm sure it was just like, you're still getting settled in there and the whole thing's going, but always be watching that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, you're right, because a lot of it was just like, this is my first time coaching her. It's just like kind of observing how she's moving, so.
Yeah. Cool. So now they're going to get into benching, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, Pierre, that should be your bar right there. Yeah.
Where'd you coach before this?
So before this, I had a 5-month coaching sabbatical.
There you go.
So,
okay.
It was at a gym in Elk Grove, so south of Sacramento.
All right, once you guys get your bench set up, let's come over here.
Elk Grove Field House.
Let's see him on bar your bench.
Okay.
And then and I've coached probably about 4 gyms now, I think.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
that's good.
That was that was the longest time that I've not coached. So it was
kind of
it felt weird
3
for sure.
seconds on the way down.
Yeah.
Second pause in the bottom, and then press. Okay, we're gonna do the first 3 reps together, and then you guys will do 2 more on your own. All right. So the main thing I want you to pay attention to when we're benching is place your eyes directly underneath the barbell. All right, that's where we want to start. I like to have a thumb width away from the smooth as far as my grip goes. I'm gonna unrack it, place it over the top of my chest. All right, I'm gonna lower it down. So 3, 2, 1. Here, I want to keep my forearms nice and vertical. All right, that's the position I want. I don't want my elbows in or out. All right, so from here, 1 second, and then we'll punch. We'll hold this together until I count down again. 3, 2, 1, punch. Cool. All right, get to your benches. Again, we'll do 3 reps together.
I like that. It was a good breakdown of it.
Yeah.
And it's not too overdone. It was just a couple things to focus on. Now to make sure here you're going to check in to see if they're actually doing those things.
Yeah.
So all the teaching was good setup, not overblown, quick in and out. What was how long have you been coaching?
9 years.
Old man.
Yeah.
Old man Jet.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
A forever student though, right?
Hold it.
Forever.
And up. Okay, hold this top position. Clearly hold it. Yeah. All right, we go. 3,
Nice.
2, 1, down, up. Good. 3, 2, 1, down, up. Good. Do 2 more on your own at that exact same tempo.
I like that cue and cue. I like the tempo of you're counting them down. You're really guiding them. This is kind of what I've asked a few people to do before is you really control them for a few sets. You get what you need to see, and no one looked like they were totally blowing it, other than a girl in the beginning who could go into town by herself. And then you do a couple more reps on your own.
As opposed
and
to
now you're finding someone. Cool.
Here, okay, yeah.
Good job.
Let's go slow on the way down. Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah, and you caught the girl who was sectioning it and going 1, 2, 3.
The next thing I'm going to do is we're going to get out your boxes, find a nice, comfortable height to jump to. If you need to grab a lower box, do so right now.
Yeah.
So
good. You gave him an out.
We're
get a
gonna
lower
do
box.
3, but we're gonna do 3 box jumps, but we're gonna mimic the high jump that you guys are gonna have in your workout. So again, what I want you guys to think about here is we're gonna get a good amount of distance away from the box. You're gonna start from your standing position. I like to raise my arms up because this is where I want to finish. All right. I'm gonna bring my arms down to load my hip, right, and then from here. I'm jumping. I'm using my arms to propel myself up and forward. Okay, so we're gonna do that 3 times. All right, find a good height to start out at, and then make sure we step down.
Pause it for a sec, Cody. So I love all the specific instruction that you gave with regards to I like doing this to help me up here. I think that's cool. It's good things to just give them a mindset of this is what we want our hands doing. This is how we're jumping. That's a really good setup, and it's quite simple. It's not overblown. The 2 things you could have done here, one is you could have given them just a bit more direction of what size box to get. Be err on the side of getting a lower box. Every put your box on 20. If 20 is too high, grab a slightly lower one. Your kind of direction was a little bit vague of get something you feel comfortable jumping on. It's not wrong, but you could be more specific and directing with that, so nobody felt like they were in space, but that's fine. The other thing I would do is just anytime you're jumping, especially when you're going into it and they haven't done that much dynamic stuff yet, I always would just do a couple step ups, just do a couple step ups for me. All right, cool. Now we're just gonna do a couple jump up, step downs, just whatever kind of jump. And then you get into a skill specific jump, like you're saying, like, hey, now we're gonna focus on jumping a little higher than we need to go. Let's do the hands, get in here. So you might have like two progressions just slightly before that, so that they get a little bit of rebound in there. They get a little bit of like, okay, my joints are a little bit more warmer. I mean, it's in Sacramento. It's probably 6 days ago, so it's freaking sweltering, I'm sure. But
still is
a bit of a bit of leg movement before we go straight into jumping is something I might recommend just for that. And again, not wrong the way you did it, especially the context, but I might just have them do 1 or 2 step ups every time as like a bit of a progression onto the box, so they take it seriously, and then you could layer that coaching piece in after the second or third one.
Yeah, I'm here with the lady close to the camera. I could see how that would help because she was definitely hesitant jumping on that 20-inch box, and then we had to go to something lower. And I think she was even hesitant jumping on that lower box, and we got a plate.
Yeah, and that's like actually really common when it comes to athletes and jumping, is just like being nervous about getting on top of something, and like you'd be surprised how many adults never ever have jumped in their lives, and you're like, whoa. So if you always offer them the step up into the, okay, now if you're comfortable with that, let's try to jump up, step down. Okay, now if you're comfortable with that, jump up, jump down. It always gives them like, and then you can just say, hey, if you're not, just stay with the step up. And then it makes it so they drop off where they see fit, and then you can challenge from there.
Yeah.
Coming down to his dead hang position. So again, squeeze, and then slowly come down. We're gonna do that 5 times, okay?
Trish, you missed a pretty good opportunity there to, instead of warm up, you could have done a few things about never going cold, but I do appreciate you.
Let's try this, okay?
Almost getting a nice dirty comment in.
Then use those arms and think about propelling it forward. Yeah, swing them up forward. Atta girl, good. And then what we can do is always just add like another plate, and another plate, you can go a little bit higher. So hopefully we can transfer it over to the height. Yeah.
I take no offense to add a girl, and I don't know if she did either,
so we're gonna do
but that could be perceived poorly depending on how offended that person was.
Slowly come down.
It's commonly done with like horses and dogs. And I don't know what your relationship is with her, but just be aware of someone's response to that.
Okay.
And and it wasn't wrong here. I doubt she was offended, but just so you know, if someone comes in and says like, "Add a girl" or "add a boy," it could be a little. It could be felt maybe differently than you perceived it.
I believe I say that a lot, so noted. Thanks, Pat.
Yeah, and it's okay. I think it just know like that sometimes someone might not, and I bet you 99.9% of the time is be totally chill, but just there will be a time where you say that and someone will take offense and you'll be like, "Oops, I didn't mean to."
Yep.
It's much better than many of the things I've heard.
Okay, so we have 10 of these. Right? So we're gonna go 2 at a time.
Like those like generational gaps where it'll be like, "Okay, sugar, you can do this," and you're like, "Well,
pinch forward, and then
you can't say that." When Ron gives me an attagirl before he takes a bit out of my come on.
I think I was on the transition of like good game from my generation.
Yeah.
Yes, the good game. Good game.
I think I'm getting it higher. Yeah. There you go. Good.
Yeah. Interesting. Double.
Yeah, think about a
bent
position
over.
that you're finishing to is like a scarecrow position. So we'll do 10 of those, and then once
What
you
are
do
these
10,
exactly?
we won't need those dumbbells
They were a double dumbbell high pull.
Huh? Was it using your hip or was it just with the high pull? Because usually Interesting.
Yeah. So I didn't know if that was like a transitional piece towards like maybe like the jump.
I mean, it's a transitional piece towards a clean.
Yeah.
But like, why would you do it with double dumbbell?
Yeah.
It's also weird gear wise. Like,
put those
get it out,
dumbbells
put it
away,
away,
come
get it
back
out,
to the
put it away. Like
those are some of the things I've noticed with the Mayhem programming.
is there's just like a bunch of weird shit that like
Yeah, like I constantly
whatever's
have
in
to
there
get
is like
athletes to grab this, grab that, but it's not in the actual strength or workout portion.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the two ways to deal with that are either you show up ahead of time and set it all up and stage it
Yep.
to where they're not getting anything,
Yeah. Yeah.
or you just leave them out the whole time, or I guess the third way would be to remove that piece and find out a non-gear version of it that you could use.
Yep.
You could do a double high pull minus the dumbbells and it would still
Yeah,
be
yeah.
mildly effective. So
Yeah.
you can't be busting in and out like that all the time. Yeah, Matt saying
Okay.
tend to modify warm-ups, do my own accord. Trish is saying, why do mayhem, not cap? I mean,
As far as finishing the bench press first,
because
and
Rich
then
does
going
it.
to box
I don't know.
jumps, or do a bench.
I think you guys should
and then
all
do the
do
box jumps.
Oh,
Duo
right here,
Affiliate,
Pat.
which is
This-
my
this
program.
is it.
But let me go over the tempo and our percentages. So for the bench press, we have 5 sets to do, 3 repetitions.
Boom.
70% of your
What
one
the
rep
hell's he
max.
doing?
Yeah.
Can you guys
Oh, you're
pause real
demoing?
quick?
What a turd.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah. You guys got 70%
Now
of your one
he
rep max.
recognizes
Okay,
that
you're gonna
there's,
take
I'm
3
talking to
seconds
like
on the way down,
7 people
pause
there.
at the bottom, and then press up. So
Dude.
we'll spend about a couple of minutes building up to your guys' 70%
So
weight. If
you were
don't know what it
clearly
is,
frustrated there.
then,
You could hear
Yeah,
it kind of in
yeah.
your voice
Yep.
as well.
after
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
you guys will have 5 sets of 3 box jumps.
Did you check
So
back
this
in
is
with
the
him
progression that we've
afterwards?
been doing.
You know, he they both apologize. You know, I appreciate it.
Oh, cool.
So I didn't like talk to them. I just made sure that, hey, just make sure that you're aware if I'm talking to people that you guys are not dropping barbells, stones, or anything that can just disrupt the communication
Yeah.
to me, to the clients or the members.
Cool. Well, it's cool that they had the wherewithal to come apologize.
Yeah.
I'm glad that happened.
I hope they're watching it.
We're going to spend about 15 minutes here. Okay.
Cool. So this was loading up. So using the stuff that you just learned, they're kind of loading up and getting heavier in the bench and kind of going
Yep.
these places. Is that it? And then
Yeah.
I'm sure you stressed not going heavier than they think they can manage on a bench. And
I don't think I did. I just assumed because the load was, I think I communicated that it is a light load that we're just focusing on tempo. Yeah.
cool.
I think that's why I didn't
Yeah,
mention about like spotting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, bench is just one of those sketchy exercises where like there's no bail point really, but it doesn't
Yeah,
look like
yeah.
it's more deaths by a bench than any other gym exercise.
really? Oh, wow.
Well, because people will like go to like a 24-hour,
Yeah.
key open any time, go in and bench and get stuck and choke themselves out.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. All right.
That's good. So see that excitement was genuine, and it was just like
Good. You're
it was like,
girl.
dude, I'm
Good.
so stoked that
So you gotta
you
do
were
3.
able to
Yeah,
do it.
good.
Just
You
from
did
like the
that.
hesitation,
Get
from
your
the
grip
warm
a
up
little
to
bit
where
more.
we're at now, it was cool to see.
Yeah, and I think you can
Yeah.
be genuinely excited about that, which is cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
YC, where did you go before?
I always come here, but I just very lazy and
Oh, got it. Okay. Okay.
I love how you're doing your best to get in and work with these people, and like every single time, just like connect with them as best you can, and watching their technique and noting the people who are going to go a bit more attention, and you are still going to them a bit more often.
Good.
Just never lose sight of the people who also do move well. So like the girl in green or the guy in green or the other guy in black. Just make sure you're still checking in with them and being like, oh, great on this, like, or hey, try this little piece. Or if you just connect with them, because it's easy to lose sight of those. But I do love how you're paying a little extra attention to the people who clearly need it, because that is an important piece.
Where have you been?
How does this work?
Haven't
What's
seen
the
you on
patterning?
Thursdays.
Is it like a 10-minute time frame, or is it just like get the work done? Like how does this work?
Yeah,
working
just
on different
you have a 15 minute. In 15 minutes, just you got 5 sets of 3 tempo reps of bench press, and then you have 5 sets of 3 reps of high box jumps. They had the option of either supersetting it or finishing like one before the other.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One thing that could be doable and viable for these kinds of days to even build more community is if you partner people up for this.
Okay.
You don't have to. I'm always in my program, whenever I'm running anything, for space wise and just for community building, I try to partner people up as much as I possibly can. And anytime where there's like not really a time component to it and they can kind of share gear, I try to get them to do so. Like, and then that way you could even do things like, hey, we're building a higher box jump. We're also building a slightly heavy, like we're building a bench. Let's just be watching your partner bench and making sure they're not going to get stuck. And then also be around them if someone needs a little spot on that box, as things start to get scary. So that way it creates a little bit more of a dynamic. By no means is it something you'd have to do, but try to look for places that you can like squeak in partners, because that helps build community too. Even if they have to use different gear or whatever it might be, like, hey, watch this when they do that. And then that way there's like, it's not a bunch of separate people in class. It's like a bunch of little units, and they start I mean, it's really easy to do on like true heavy days where you're like, okay, you're going to be a group of 3, group of 3, group of 3. You guys are back squatting there. You guys are back squatting there. And then they're all like communicating with each other. But I think never doing very focused work is a missed opportunity for community building. So anytime you get the chance to try to flutter them in there.
It's cool that you said that, because I've been jumping in on classes on these days, and I'll actually partner up with someone like right away.
Yeah.
So
see when you're not coaching, you'll jump in. That's great. Then see, I'm a big fan of partners for warm-ups, especially because like a lot of times they're dreary and stupid. So anytime you can like couple things together, or like, well, one person's running, the other person's rowing, and then you switch when they come in, like pace is set by blah blah blah. Like I'm a big also fan of partner workouts, but I think it's more often than not you can flutter people into or you can bring people together for warm-up stuff. So always be looking for spots like that, even if it doesn't write in the program, because then it just enhances your class. Sometimes with that though,
think about it, it's really less,
you do have to
you jumping high, the more that you can get your knees
break up clicks. Because if you're constantly partnering, sometimes weird little clicks form, and then you'll just have to be like, hey, you go with you, or find somebody you don't know. We're gonna do it. Nice.
Either try. Let me have you do one more. Okay. Do it without loading that back foot. Go from just a standstill 2-foot position. Okay.
Oh, what a cruel man.
Oh yeah, dude.
There's another attaboy right there.
Attaboy. I don't think it's the worst pattern, but just know that like it could be perceived as patronizing. Not to like, especially the tone of it. It all matters.
Plenty of time. We still got about like 9 more minutes.
Like, and also we're in a day and age where people are way too easily offended.
So was it work, 70?
Cancel culture. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, YC.
So far, what I really do love is like your flow is good. Like there's not extreme stops. Like people are going, they're moving. You're still getting in there to coach people. You're offering little tips. There hasn't been any like major big things. The things that you taught about, nothing is particularly complex. So it's been able to be like relatively straightforward. I'm curious to see how it goes. It's looking good though.
Yeah, my other job, we have some elected officials too. So it's like they're always like booked out, and you always have to get in contact
Judy
with.
Said,
like,
do they have a separate room that people by the door could go use?
We're working on it. Yeah, we're working on it, Judy.
What set is this, right?
Yeah, I mean, do those people also take class?
You know, the coach does it. That I've seen him, and the member that's been working out with them, I've seen him.
Oh, yeah,
I've actually coached him
mix
one
this up.
time in a class.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the true masters athlete there who's going to the games is probably, if they're like training with him to help him get to the games more, like that, I get that, or to keep him company.
Yeah.
I'm always just a fan of like coaches should be training with class. I mean, you can do your own special program, but you should also be participating in the larger one.
Yeah.
Just keeps you accountable. But I think there is something to be said for the athlete who is actually going to the games, which is the 0.000 like 1%. Like, because I mean, we would have people at NorCal who'd be like, I want to train this extra stuff on the side, and I'd be like, nah, dude, you got to take class. But then there was also Garrett Fisher and Jason in there, and even then, the class was always the priority. If they were ever too loud, it was like, shut up. And it makes I love how you handled the whole situation. It was good.
Yeah, it's you know, one of the things of being new is kind of knowing when to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you kind of just assume that people are aware of those things, right? Hey, this guy's coaching to a class. I'm dropping a barbell.
So
I should probably not do this.
What I want you to think about
I think you spoke up at the right time, Jet. You're like, yo, bro. Nah.
Think about bending that bar and driving the pinkies forward. So that'll create.
And it sounds like you heard it because after class he came up and apologized. You know.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Can you get a little bit closer? Just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. You got it. There you go.
Cody, can you skip past this section? Go to like the next whatever part of the class is. Cool. So now they're moving into what?
Do you want to go
matches?
Or do you want to go here? You want to be a fan? Okay, this is good.
So the workout here.
All right, let's come over here. We'll do some primers for your snatches before we get started, and then for your burpees, and then along with your V-ups.
Wait, so how did they get to snatches? Did you go over snatch?
Yeah, I think we went over we went past the workout enter communication.
All right, so today's workout is stars and
stripes. Here we go. Okay, cool.
How do we get here? What the prescribed amount looks like is that.
Cody, can you go back to just before this? I want to see what happened. How did they get barbells out? And so they started to get barbells out. Where did they learn to snatch? Maybe just past this. Okay, so they pulled their barbells up the rack.
So I had them set up. Okay.
Right, I'm gonna have you put your bar right here. Okay.
Good direction. Just forcing it in the spot that you want.
Yeah, this workout has there's light snatches, here. Bar facing burpees.
Ken, I'm gonna have you put your bar right here.
Light snatches, bar facing burpees,
and V-ups.
V-ups. So of those three, which one would you likely have to put more teaching into?
The snatch.
Yeah.
Yep.
There, and then Victor, I'll have you come up a little bit more.
Trish is.
I think
I'm.
Actually, do you want to go right here?
Going at you, Jet.
You want to be a fan? Okay, this is good.
Comments, by the way. Feel free to ignore them.
All right, let's come over here. We'll do some primers for your snatches before we get started, and then for your burpees, and then along with your V-ups.
V-ups. Okay, so they went straight into, maybe they just pulled their bars off the rack and they had those weights on them already?
Workout is
I think so. Or they kind of knew what the workout was and they kind of preloaded.
Amount looks like is that you have 2 sets. Each set is going to consist of 3 rounds. So each round is going to be 10 bar-facing burpees, followed by 10 power snatches, followed by 10 V-ups. Okay, so you'll have 3 rounds of that. however fast you finish that 3 rounds in, you will rest until minute 10, and then minute 10 we begin set 2. Does that make sense? Okay. So the goal is to do this in under 7 minutes because we will be capped at 7 minutes, and you will be forced to get at least 3 minutes of rest. If you finish earlier, awesome, you have a little bit more rest. That doesn't mean that it'll feel a lot better though. Okay, if that if that makes sense. Okay, so
there's
Indy is 8 bar facing burpees, 10 power snatches. The load is a little bit lighter at 75 pounds.
So you're having to brief.
The V-ups is still the same at 10 V-ups. Again, the
scale.
goal is to be able to finish anywhere between 5 to 7 minutes.
Doesn't look like I mentioned the weight for the.
Let me demonstrate these movements, and then we'll do some practice.
Because I think I just assumed they're not going to pick that
beforehand,
one.
So some prep.
That's okay.
Right. So the first thing, your bar facing burpees. Okay. I got you staggered so that we just have plenty of room. Plus, I want you into a position where I can see all of you too. Okay. So a couple ways that you can do your bar facing burpees is that first that you do need to face your bar. All right. So once you're here, you're gonna go down to your burpee. All right, once you're here, I like to come up with my chest, and then I'll hop up with one foot so I can get as close to the bar as possible. I'll stay low, and I'll hop, and I'll pivot, and then go down and repeat.
Dang, teach him the Rich Froning burpee too.
So the cool thing with that type of burpee is that I like to think of as a dance. All right, it's a metronome. So I'm like, down, 1, 2, hop, 1, 2, down.
I like this. It's a cool little analogy. I like your personal flair, little metronome
here. So the
here.
cool thing with that is that you can go as fast as you want.
Oh, thank you.
You can really go as slow as you want to.
I think putting a little bit of thought into
really
it, like other than just slide down and go back up.
Just find a nice rhythm.
You wouldn't always teach it like this, but this is
Another
a
way
time
that
where
you
there's
can
very
do
few
this
things.
is
That being said,
going
I sure
down,
do hope that you teach the snatch.
Up.
If not, I'm gonna roast
Take a
you,
step
Jeff.
towards the bar.
I'm expecting it.
And then repeat. Okay. Ideally, we want 2 feet takeoff, 2 feet landing. Right. If that's going to be hard and it's going to be a safety issue, feel free to like hop over. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'd rather have you do that than here. I think everyone could commit to that, right? The next one after your bar facing burpees is your power snatches. So these should be relatively light that it almost feels like a kettlebell swing. All right. So you have 10 of them. The goal is to be able to hang on for those 10, or maybe do like 6 and 4, 5 and 5. Okay. The main thing with this power snatch is to keep the bar close on the way up and on the way down. Okay. So I'll demonstrate real quick. So here I'm getting my hips.
So you're going over the burpee,
my body, getting under it, and then
fully going over the snatch.
Yeah.
So you're going over more like efficiency pieces for it, rather than like the mechanics of it.
Yeah. So knowing, I think my thought process around like the workout was, it was light, right? And even with the snatch being a light load, it's like, really, do I need to go over like the points of performance like of it, right? And
no, I don't think you need to go.
Yeah.
So, like, it's funny. Fern and I were just having an argument. I mean, it was a polite argument about he teaches a really garbage on-ramp program. I hope he's right there. I was thinking he was right behind this door. No, Fern and I were just having an argument about how it was a discussion about when you're teaching stuff, like how thoroughly do you teach each one of the pieces, and when that happens and where it falls in on-ramp and stuff like that. And so for me, when I teach an on-ramp, I really flush out the basic movements, and then I pretty much from then on will very rarely flush out the progression for the air squat. I'm not going to go over the points of performance super deeply in classes unless the day is a back squat heavy day, something like that, or there's only squats that day, and then they find its way in. But the Olympic lifts, I'll tend to flush out at least somewhat almost every time, just because they're so complex, and it gives you an opportunity to be like, all right, we'll put the bar at your waist, and you don't need to go over each of the individual pieces, but you can just say, hey, we're going to go over the snatch. Everybody put the bar at the waist. Okay, dip, drive, shrug, dip, drive, high pull, punch overhead, jump and land with it overhead. Okay, jump and land the bottom of the squat. Okay, cool. We went through a snatch progression. It could be quick, but I still think there needs to be some sort of and it doesn't need to be really hammering home each one of the points, but it does need to be pick the complex movement for the day, go over that a little bit more in detail, especially in the case of the snatch. Because like you taught more on the bench than you taught on the snatch.
Yeah.
You know, like you told them about the snatch, and you're like, hey, you've done this before, fuck it, you know. But it's it's like I would have skipped your teaching components on the burpee, skipped the teaching components on the other one, done a little bit more fleshed out piece and say it's a burpee, touch your chest to the ground, get over the bar, move on. If you were worried about time. But I would pick the complex movement to actually have a little bit of a progression through. And I know it's hard in these types of programs that are like part A, part B, part C, part D. I've got 50 fucking things, which is, pardon me, the reason why I think this is a dumb program. When you do many things in a class that all involve some level of complexity, it's silly. But that's my personal vendetta and bias, obviously. And it just makes it hard. I think you as a coach have to come in and be like, what's the most complex piece? That one thing, I'm going to have a bit more of a flushed out piece too. And then the other things I'll pull back a little bit. Where can I suck back some of the coaching? But those things sometimes need to be coached too, because I loved your box jump thing and I loved your burpee thing. Like those are great additions, but in a class that's this full, they can't be there because you have to focus on the more complex thing, which is the snatch. Like it's the highest risk of injury, and it's the thing that requires the most level of cognitive capacity to do. Like this girl right here needs a lot, you know, narrow grip, worse stance, not pulling. Like you would have caught all those things for earlier had you gone through a single progression. Now she's behind you doing a narrow grip muscle snatch. You know, like a clutch.
I know.
We'll go lighter.
No, you're totally right. Cause like I know my intent with it was like having them understand just like transition and pacing. Right. It was like with the light movements, that's what I was thinking. I wasn't really thinking about like the complexity of the snatch. Right. And it was just like, hopefully they pick something light that is not going to like hurt them in the snatch, but we're gonna focus on like the transitional pieces and the pacing of the workout.
Totally.
No, but I appreciate that makes sense.
There's a total time and place for that, the pacing of it. But I would say the pacing is always going to be secondary to the movement. Like if we're going to have to put a hierarchy in your head of like, what is the most important thing for me to get across for any given day? The very first thing is safety, right? They have to be safe. If they're not safe, it doesn't matter how light it is. Like it's building bad patterns, and it's like the one time they hurt themselves, they don't come back. Then, like we talk about standards and stuff like that, and then like efficiency, which would be essentially pacing, and then stimulus and stuff like that. So like safety first, which means the complex thing has to be taught to some degree. If you ask me.
Our goal is to be able to match that time or hopefully get a little bit faster. Any questions? Yep. Yeah, there you go. I just broke it up into 3 rounds. Okay.
But I think you're also not being given a fair chance because it's like
3, 2, 1,
you have so much to get through in class.
Here we go.
Like, what the fuck?
Get to your places for some burpees.
Like you've done a really good job
of
making it through.
Oh, thank you.
Like you've done a good job of pacing through and like really kind of like making sure things were moving. And I think that's kind of the beauty of having a lot of stuff is that you don't have to fill the space with, you know, learning. Laying shit like that.
If you're doing prescribed, we're starting with 10 burpees. If you're doing indie,
I think a lot of coaches have a hard time when there's less to focus on. Because they don't know what to do and they're used to programs like this.
So what I want you to do, go ahead and go down. Do your burpee. Go ahead and go all the way down. And come up. And as soon as you come up here, stand up. And then step to the bar.
Dr. John McHale said when you're a national medalist in the snatch, like Jet, it's hard to fathom someone not knowing how to snatch.
Thanks,
yeah,
John.
once you do your 8 or 10, then you have 10 snatches.
Are you a nationalist
Followed by
medalist
10
in the snatch,
V-ups.
Jet?
I am, yeah. For
What?
yeah.
What?
Attaboy.
Yeah, little mic drop on that one. Thanks, John.
It's pretty sick. What weight class?
Pat, so when I was
10.
35 to
Steps
39, I was
forward.
69
Attaboy.
Okay.
back in the day, and then as of recent, I've competed as a 73 and then an 81 at nationals this past year.
And Matt, I like Matt's comment though. And you didn't teach it?
Good, Stephanie. Stephanie, just go right below the knee.
Yeah, man.
Right there, and then take it over.
I mean, this is roasted. Roasted, Jet. Roasted. Teach the freaking movement. I think with all of us normies, it's one of those things that you just gotta go back through like every time, even if it's like a really brief progression. Look at how that you give her one cue and she did so much better. Now imagine if that wasn't mid workout and she could have learned that beforehand and then started in the workout with better technique. I think it's always worth it to just slightly flush it out, and I think that especially if you have a good history in this and a good background in it, you would have a unique eye to it and a unique progression through it. So it's always going to be valuable for you to spout a little something about the snatch and go through a light progression.
Yeah.
Connection. Am I still here?
You're still here.
Uh-oh.
I can hear you, but you're definitely stuck.
Yeah.
I heard something, Jet.
When you come up for your burpee, step towards the bar so you don't have to jump too far, and then just hop over.
Having trouble
keep your heart rate down too. Okay?
Unstable.
Right,
move closer to your router if you're on Wi-Fi. Okay. Let's try that. Let's see here.
Good. Here you go. Here. Yeah. Got it, girl.
Closer to the router. Are you guys trying to stream video over there?
Good. There you go, Stephanie.
Cody, can you hear me?
I said, yeah, we'll wait and see if he hops back on here.
Yeah. We'll carry it.
Let's keep this thing rolling here. We were about to wrap up in about the next 7 minutes anyways, but let's keep things going here. Let's see if Pat joins us back.
All right, we're 3 minutes in.
The gym that I go to also follows Mayhem, so like seeing this workout, I was like, oh, I did that workout.
You did? Okay, yeah.
What's up, guys, over there? I appreciate everybody giving me a shout out in the chat.
You got YC, come on.
Yeah, he just woke up from his nap.
I did. Just hanging out over here. Let me see. Pat's sending me a message.
YC, on those snatches, get the hips just a little bit lower. Okay. You're doing good. Okay. Good.
Trish, how do you get a branded hat? You can't. Gotta be special.
101.
Real kid.
There you go. How about that, Jet? Have you ever had to fire a member?
No, but I've definitely had a hard conversation for sure. Thanks, Trish.
Was that after class? Was it like some of the people in the back there that were doing?
No, it was definitely like I'm over coffee. Hey,
gotcha.
I gotta talk to you. Yeah. Yeah. Without going into details, it was definitely like just a side conversation, just like, hey, this is what's going on.
That's good though. I mean, a lot of people don't have those conversations, and sometimes they do need to be had like right after class in the moment, and sometimes it is better to be like, hey, like, let me buy you a coffee. Let's sit down and chat about some things.
Yeah. It's definitely something that I've just gotten better with and getting more comfortable with over time. Woo lift.
Where does Woo lift? All right, let's get Pat back in here. Don't worry, Pat. I'll just save your show.
Save my show. You're the one who just canceled out. Your little internet stalled. You're blaming that on me? How dare you homeskill it? Anyway,
said-
Woo Lift.
Yeah, he
Woo
said
Lift is
attaboy,
an
got
Instagram
canceled.
account. Yeah, attaboy, canceled. Attaboy, attagirl. You gotta bite your lip next time you say it. It makes it real good. Attagirl. What were your lifts out of curiosity? What's your 69?
So 69, I think I total at like 205, 207.
Okay.
So I had I was like a 90, 93 kilo snatch, and then I think like a 115 kilo clean and jerk.
Nice.
Yeah. It's I love it, just trying to stay strong while we get older, so.
Oh yeah. I'm right there with you, man. Hair is gone, stash is here. Anyway, I think we're good. We've gone back and forth. We've gone through some stuff. I think your general flow on class is cool. Like, I love how much effort you put into it. Like, it looks like you're moving from thing to thing. There's a good sequence. You get in and out. You engage with people. When you see something, you catch it. Like, all the stuff that I saw, you kind of jumped in and grabbed it. Even had the conversation with the dudes dropping the stuff in the back. So, like, really owning the space, even though you've only been there for 8 days, it's fucking awesome, man. It means that you've got confidence in your overall ability with regards to that and your own presence and whatnot. I think the one thing that I would look to is if you've got a complex piece, then teach that one and make sure you put the priority there. Whether it's a snatch or the complexity piece might be a wall ball, like it might be. But spend some time flushing out a bit of a progression for that, because you have really good progressions for the other things. Like, I loved all your little nuancey ones for how to flow through box jump and burpee. But, like, if you're going to prioritize something, prioritize the slightly complex piece and actually make sure they get a little one in that. The other thing would be to look for places that you can partner people up, because that always just builds community amongst those. But all in all, man, it was a good job. You ran a good class. That'd be the guys, everyone looked like they were moving fine towards the end, and you've got a good vision, good eye. I would spend the time making sure that you also take that complex piece, put it above the others, and kind of go with it. Special stuff coming soon. We do have special stuff coming soon. If you look down and look below, Jason Fern and I are filming it right now. He's right there.
He's over there
looking on his phone. There he is.
Hey, Fern.
Jet says hi. Jay.
Where's Ackerman, Pat?
Where's Ackerman? We actually he died. It was rough. So, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll find another Hobbit to have on the team.
I'm an Hobbit, so if you need one.
We'll have to have you grow your hair out and start selling supplements. Hey, so Jet, we asked you to have a question towards the end before we finish things off, but I'm curious. Throw one out, or we'll see if we can get an answer for you.
Can I give a shout out first, Pat?
Absolutely, give me a shout out.
Oh, cool, awesome. So I definitely want to shout out the CrossFit Natomas family community out there. It's been awesome. Also, one of my favorite gyms to coach at is CrossFit Kumamoto in Japan. And then I'm looking forward to going to CrossFit Siargao in the Philippines. They have a really cool health retreat that's fitness, surf, wakeboarding in October. So go check them out.
Wait, what is this whole like travel you're doing here? Is there something about you I don't know, Jet?
Yeah.
You fly on a jet around the world? Oh, you got that one? Cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I've coached in Japan. And then that was like in 2017. And then I'm going to this health retreat that CrossFit Siargao is hosting. That's a combination of like surfing, fitness. Yeah. So excited for that. That's the first one. So I'm excited to be a part of it. Plus, it's the homeland. Man. Gotta go visit the other Filipino hobbits out there.
Dude, Filipino hobbits. Like, I feel like I'd fit right in. You let me know if you need a surf/coach out there with a mustache. I'll head to Japan.
Yeah.
So then what were your questions other than the shout outs?
Really just about I wanted to ask you about your programming. It was just like the affiliate.
Oh, my actual
yeah. That was the question.
So my wife and I have been doing. We were the first affiliate program to actually sell it to the affiliate market, and our main thing was basically centered around like our original marketing. We were just talking about it the other night. Was actually around programming is pretty easy. What's hard is session plans, and what's hard is planning the class out well and making sure you have a good structured thing. If you're talking about a good CrossFit program for seeing progress across all the athletes who step into your facility over the lifetimes of those athletes, that's not hard to do, especially through the vision of, more like a single workout a day, which most people should be doing. So our program is centered around on CrossFit as it was written by Greg, which is more often than not a single workout a day. There'll be other like skill components, so there'll be other pieces in there, but there's one main focus with a really good lesson plan built around getting the coach time to coach. So our program is that. We're actually recently going to be starting to implement in this month. We're trying out some stuff Fern's been doing with offering like a bit of a coach's choice where there's on like 3 to 4 days per week, there's going to be like 3 different versions of the same workout, but one is geared towards being more of a strength stimulus. So slightly heavier, more CrossFit football, like work rest interval, but same movements as the CrossFit version. And then the other version will be like more cardio stimulus. So it's more like fast, fit, and heavy. And then it gives the coach kind of an option to choose what's appropriate for the athlete. But also when the athlete looks at it, they can go, I kind of feel like this. And then you can either have that conversation with the athlete and be like, that's not appropriate for you, or absolutely go ahead. And the cool thing is each one of them will look like CrossFit. It'll just be more geared towards that specific type of stimulus for that any given day. And it'll be the same session plan, same movements, but just different types of patternings depending on what it is. So yeah, that's coming out pretty soon too. And that's what we offer. We've had it for a long time. But if you ever want anything with regards to that, I'm happy to hook it up, Jet.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm hoping I can get like the coach's roast discount code on that one.
Hey, you let me know. You'll get full #roasted. It'll be in there. Discount code.
The discount code will be like attaboy or
attaboy. Yeah, that'll be the code. Attaboy. Stat teaching. That'll be the full code. Cool. Well, if you need any of the cool stuff coming up, remember, sign up for the best hour of their day.com/newsletter. But yeah, be on the lookout for the new stuff. Jet, it was awesome to have you, man. You did a fantastic job.
Awesome. Thank you, Pat.
Teach the stats next time.